Hi everybody, my name is Precious Pioneer and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I kind of want to talk about what to do kind of when you feel stuck. I feel like this happens to me every couple of months. I recently got out of like my little plateau and I'm like, okay, time to get outside and change my life a little bit and push the needle forward, I guess. And I kind of wanted to give some of my favorite things to do to encourage you maybe if you're feeling that kind of way. I know that with COVID happening and so many things being closed down and just the chaos that is happening, it can be fairly easy to feel overwhelmed, whether you've been displaced from your job or you're going through all these different changes. You know, the world is changing, people are changing, and so sometimes it can be a lot to keep up. You may feel like that you're falling behind, and I don't know, I just wanted to have like a casual conversation with you guys, and hopefully I can encourage you to get out of this rut and to be your best self and to do everything that you hope to accomplish, you know. So these are like 5 of my like notes or tips that I usually notice, and then I kind of like adjust when I feel a little bit stuck. So yeah, let's get into it. So tip number 1 is to stop overthinking and let go of things that are out of your control. Definitely easier said than done. I think I'm the queen of overthinking. I kind of like sometimes I find myself super analyzing one thing to the point where I don't want to do anything. I kind of have a bad habit of creating these like super mega lists of every single thing in my mind to like brain dump all of the tasks that I need to do for the day. And when half the day's gone and it's night and I've only done like two or three things on this list, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not being productive, and I can lead into like this cycle. And so one of the biggest things that I like to do is I like to journal, sometimes just brain dumping and getting rid of everything that's like clogging my production or like my productivity can kind of help me see clearly of everything that I need to prioritize and get done. And then other things can be just for fun or things that I want to do. And then also the part about letting go of control, sometimes it can be really stressful because you want something to go a certain way, and it's just not like that. I remember being here, it was really stressful with the language barrier and how the city kind of closes really early at 9, and I just felt like I couldn't, I guess it just felt like before quarantine, or at least during it, I felt like I was so much more productive and like making more YouTube videos, because I really love making videos for you guys, or like practicing writing and practicing all these other skills that I want to do. But I also have to give myself the space to know that it's okay to take a break, and it's okay to let go of things that are out of my control and adjust. That way, like, it's not a thing that brings me stress anymore. It can just be a part of my life that I have now adjusted, and I can make it a little bit better. So I'll have like a designated shopping day where I could just spend the day in the city, different things like this. Or I appreciate the fact that, you know, everybody kind of goes home at 9 here or goes to sleep really early, and so it's like quiet hours. I can enjoy like both sides of things. And so I feel like if whatever you're holding on to and you're holding on so tight and it may be stressing you out during this time, to consider changing your perspective, because maybe life is just about the way that you perceive things, you know. It's like it's very cliche of the glass half full, half empty sort of thing, but I truly believe that cliches are cliches for a reason, because they kind of have some element of truth, and I can respect that, you know, I can respect that. And so this is my trick, or like my thing number 1 of what I do when I feel stuck. I'm like, okay, what am I like so fixated on? Like, why do I feel like I can't move forward? What is figuratively blocking me from like doing what I want to do? Or why do I feel overwhelmed or stressed right now? And then I just brain dump it all, and then I organize my priorities and see what I can adjust, things that I can control. Oh, you know, I'm always tired and maybe I feel fatigued all the time. Okay, then Precious, you need to go to bed a little bit earlier, you know, you need to prioritize sleep, because overall it'll like add into happiness, you know, things like this. And so whatever that is for you, you have to figure this out and go through it and rearrange your life to make you a little bit happier or a little bit more productive, or whatever it is that's blocking you. Okay, going into tip number 2 is you really have to believe what's in your heart and take it for truth, because you kind of know what you want. And I really believe that. I I feel like most of my stress when I feel in a rut or when I feel stuck, it's like I know it's usually like a mountain of something that like I know I should be doing, and I know if I do this it'll make me happy, or if I know that I'll do this I'll feel fulfilled. Like I think that any dream that you have, it's going to be an uphill battle. It's never really easy. It comes with resistance. It comes with an uncomfortable talk with yourself, a revelation. It's like going from a seed to turning into a plant to a flower, you know? It has to go through this metamorphosis, this evolution to become the final thing that you hope to become. And it is hard. Sometimes it is hard. And that goes with anything, whether you want to work out more and exercise and become really fit. Like waking up early or after work or after school to dedicate yourself to this is hard. To eat healthier, to reach that goal, and to say no to like delicious sweets and ice creams and things like this is hard, you know? So whatever that situation may be, it's gonna take dedication. Like that's kind of the word that I've been embracing a lot. Like the main difference between you and reaching what you want and your goals is a matter of hard work and dedication. There's a healthy life balance of like getting enough sleep, eating correctly, all these other things, but at the end of the day, it's dedication. Like you could skip your binging of Netflix or TikToking or Instagram or whatever. Like those little hours add up, and you can study for 1 hour each day, or practice your guitar lessons, or do that little thing, like feed into whatever it is that your heart's saying, like, hey, like do this. You're always so happy when you do this, even if it's like a small trip to the beach every weekend because you love the ocean, you know? So find whatever that is, what you're telling yourself you need to do, but you're procrastinating on, that it seems overwhelming to even approach it. I'm a huge fan of baby steps. You don't have to tackle it all in one night, because right now I'm on a really solid health journey, but I'm trying not to push myself so much, because I always have this health revolution of like, wow, I want to be super healthy and all these other things, and then I burn out in a couple of weeks and then I go back to normal. And you don't want this. You want little tiny incremental steps to get where you want to go. So for me right now, I set a goal for 30 days, just one goal of something that I want to work on and improve, and then I change this. Right now, I repeated last month's goal, and I skipped processed foods. Anything processed, junky that you can buy from the store, I can't eat it, because I know that I overindulge. When I'm in a rut, I overindulge, and it's really counterproductive for me. So this is my little tip, and whatever that is for you, listen to it, no matter how difficult, you know. My third trick or thing to reflect on is that sometimes a new beginning can feel like an ending, and it can kind of make you sad. It can probably make you feel like you have lost something, but at the same time, it's one of those things that it has, when you put eggs into your own basket, or when you charge yourself, or when you put more energy into what you actually want and what you love, it has a longer exponential growth, a compound interest in the long run than how you feel at this moment. Because I can really relate to you in this moment. Like sometimes when you are thriving, you're working harder, you're dedicating time for yourself, you're gonna sacrifice like going out with friends and drinking, or you're gonna sacrifice different fun events, and you may have a little bit of FOMO when you really want to study at home to become a better person or a better version of yourself. This is something that just happens, and so sometimes it feels like a period in your life or a chapter in your life is ending as you're developing the person that you want to be, and you're getting out of this unstuck moment when you're finally dedicating time, energy, resources back into whatever it is that you want to do and thrive and go towards. Yeah, it feels like you've lost something, like something died even sometimes. Like moving here to Spain, like sometimes it's not that I regret it, but I question if it was the right decision. Like I know deep down, of course it was. Like I love it here, I love my school, I love all these different things, but there's always a small thing in my mind of like, wow, I really miss my friends. Did I make the right decision? I really miss like the opportunities, the job, the culture back home. I miss my family. I'm missing all these little small moments that if I were there, it would have been fine, you know? So how's the trade-off? But deep down, I know that it is the right decision. So whatever that is for you, understand that everybody goes through this. Everybody goes through the grit of like feeling a little bit isolated, a little bit alone. Some of the best entrepreneurs in the world have felt this, where they grinded under a rock for like 10, 15 years, and then now they're super famous or super wealthy. I mean, that doesn't have to be the goal for you, but understand that, you know, anytime that you sacrifice your time and like dedicate it to yourself, to the betterment of yourself, you sacrifice like other things that took place in your life before but no longer have a space, and that's okay. My fourth tip or reflection of advice when it comes to getting unstuck is that nothing changes if nothing changes. And that may sound like a super simple phrase, but like upon deep reflection, you understand that like you may want all of these things in your life. You may want to have a successful job, become super fit. You may, whatever your goal is, to be more outgoing, to be more friendly, to be more adventurous, to be more literate, to be well read, to whatever your goal is, to speak another language. It will take time, it will take practice. Like if you don't change your habits, if you don't change anything about your life and you're just sitting there waiting for something to happen, like this feeling of being in a rut, of like not moving and not knowing how to take that step forward and like just expecting something to like fall into your lap, you know, like nothing will change. You know, some of my biggest advice, I talked to some of my old girlfriends who felt like they never meet new people and they struggle meeting guys, or they want to date more or something like this. And I remember saying like, you have the exact same routine every single day and you see the exact same people every single day, and so you're surprised that you have not met anybody on your day-to-day, you know. And sometimes it's the smallest things, like take the elevator in your work building, or like if you take the elevator normally, take the stairs, or if you take one route, take a different route, and then you'll meet new people. If you go to this coffee shop, go to a different one. Like put yourself in a different situations to have new opportunities to get different results, you know. And so it may seem so simple, but like these are things that they don't think of, and I'm like, this is how it happens. And so whatever it is that you're going for right now, you have to change at least a little bit to be able to see change, you know. And so I think that is the biggest thing, because sometimes it can feel like you're just waiting for the opportunity, or you're questioning like, why doesn't these things happen to me? Why can't I be at where somebody else is? First off, that's a little toxic. You're in your own little path. I need to take your own steps. You know, my shoe size is different than somebody else's shoe size. You know, I'm on a different little alleyway here. So like focus on that, whatever that is for you. But at the same time, like if you want to see the kind of changes like that you hope for in your life, like something that you hope to be better at, then you have to do the little things that come in between it to be able to get there. And so yeah, no change is won't equate to change, if that makes any sense. Okay, and my last and final tip, trick to get unstuck, to have a reflective thought, to motivate you to get going, is that you don't have to have it all figured out to move forward. I think that's the biggest facade that like adults tell you or trick you and your kids. Like you have to know exactly what you're doing when you get into college, or like what you're gonna do with your life and your future and your jobs and all these things. But you could honestly change it as much as you want. Like I think the biggest hoax is that adults are just big kids, really. Like you could change it as many times as you want. There are no rules. Like if you are not happy, change it. You may not have it all figured out, but you know the fact that you aren't happy with something, so make the adjustments. So if you're at a job but maybe you're not in a financial position to quit your job and move over, then start working on that hobby or thing that you're passionate about until you're ready to make that transition. You don't have to have all of the steps layered out. You don't have to have the 5-year plan. You just have to know what you're doing today. And as long as you're getting a little bit better today than you were yesterday, then you're on the right path. I always talk about this old book that I read called Atomic Habits. And he always says that like your compound interest of getting 1% better each day is astronomical in the long run compared to doing nothing each day, or like going 100% one day and then taking like the year off or even a month off, you know. And so even if you're just doing one little tiny thing to adjust to get yourself out of the rut, when I think of a rut, I think of a hole. If you're doing one tiny little thing to like climb yourself out of this hole or push forward, then by the end of it you'll get out and you'll be like running, you know. And so that is my biggest tips that I can recommend for you guys to like reflect on. To first to recap really quick, first brain dump everything that you think that is blocking you. Reflect on what's inside and what makes you happy, and whether you need to put more of that to take out other things that no longer suit you, to dedicate a little bit more time to that, and understand that there might be a little bit of loss of the space that you just cleared up, whether that's like drinking out with your friends or whatever it may be. There's gonna be like a little bit of hurt there, like you feel like your you're missing something. Understand that change is normal, because if you want to change to be a better person or change to learn a new language or whatever it may be, there has to be smaller changes in your life, in your routine, to be able to get there. And then finally, like I said, you know, that you don't have to have it all figured out, but one little step at each time, each moment can help you. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing below. That really helps to support my channel, my videos. If you want more casual talking videos like this, leave a comment below, ask me a question, and maybe it can be the theme for the next video. But other than that, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.